Welcome to my renovation project. I'm Andrea Haraldsen from Harlow and Thistle. I started my blog as a means to document all the things I made for my wedding. So my wedding was all DIY'd. My husband was like, you can do whatever you want from the dollar store. And I was like, you're gonna regret saying that because I made everything. Then I got more into interior design and an opportunity came up for me to leave my corporate job and pursue interior design full time. So my main thing is just creating Luxe for less. It was a time capsule from the 1960s. Every wall was paneling, every surface was paneling, and different kinds of paneling. That's the other thing. It wasn't consistent, so it was hard to just keep some, you know? This was here. We decided to keep it because I thought it was a nice storage piece, and but it had like those old school, you know, rods. We've pretty much changed everything, but tried to keep enough of the original house just to keep that character that it originally had, and to keep with the neighborhood as well. We re-drywalled all the walls, put some pot lights up, did some more modern flooring, and not too many structural things because of the budget constraints. We have a lot of cool muted tones. I usually stick to whites, blacks, and natural wood. So that was an old brick fireplace, the angel stone. And I know we could have painted it, but it had a very distinct pattern to it. I thought that the pattern it had was gonna compete with the pattern on the floor. And so we decided just to stucco it. And it actually was another DIY project that totally intimidated me, but that wasn't too bad. That is from my first home in the beach. My husband and I bought our first home. We went to Gabby's and we had a pint of beer, and I was already like swirling about where I was gonna put our furniture and what do we need and all that. So this is the napkin that we drew out, and I decided to keep it, and then I framed it because I thought it was something we could take with us wherever we go and always remember that one night. My table, I got it off Kijiji, and it's like an old Duncan Fife table that's made, it's super heavy, but it's made so well, and it has a leaf, and it's just so cute, and I love the way it pairs with the article chairs that are a little bit more modern, so it gives that juxtaposition. And then obviously the round mirror is a little bit more, some people would say country, but I think in this space it looks more modern, especially with the feature wall that we created. I saw this again somewhere, I got inspiration, and I thought, you know, I can make that. And painter's tape and a little tiny can of paint. That's the other thing. Like I went in, I didn't get a full can. I got one of those sample cans that are only $5. I did the whole wall. So you can literally do something like that for under $10. And I don't know, I'm really, really proud of that as well. The doorway from the living room to the kitchen was just a doorway. And so since we couldn't make it open concept, we decided let's just expand that doorway so at least the sight lines go from the end of the house to the end of the house. And you can sit at the island and still hear what's going on in the living room. So yeah, that was our solution. So the kitchen was another time capsule. It was really cute. It had a wraparound countertop and some laminate flooring. And the weird thing about the kitchen was that the stove was right beside the door. The door had a curtain on the window, and I thought that's really not safe for cooking. Like every time you open the door, the curtain's like right above the stove. So that was our first plan, was to take the stove and move it across. I love the tiles so much. It's Laura Ashley Dove Gray. I think it's called Wicker. It has that rustic old, but still kind of gives a hint to that mid-century modern. The range hood is one of my favorite things. It's an Ikea cabinet that I got from the as-is bin, and I basically put a front on it, and then I got my carpenter to put the wood around the bottom. We put a vent inside and put it on the wall, and we made the range hood for maybe $250. And I think that's just such a great DIY that you could probably do in a rental, you could do, you know, in any house, and it still looks great. That's what I live for. If you see something that you want and it's too expensive, we'll figure out how to make it work. The master bedroom, again, we didn't do much in there, just nice coat of white paint and then some nice new bedding, and I've got my vintage mirror in there. It just feels kind of cozy and kind of like us. My oldest son's room has these great bunk beds in it, and when we bought the house, I thought he's gonna love these, but it was all wood, all paneling. The whole thing was actually made by the old homeowner, which I think adds so much charm to the space, so we definitely wanted to keep the bunk bed. We painted all the wood and made it more modern, a little bit brighter, and now it's like a fresh new take on what it was. The bathroom had a lot of mold in the tub, so we had to strip that whole thing out, put in a new tub, put in new tile and a new vanity, but still we didn't change the footprint at all. Whenever you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, it becomes part of you and and you're part of it. So I love this house. I will always love this house. I'll probably drive past it, years from now and be like, oh, remember that, because it's such a key part of our lives. It's something that we'll always remember, I think. I should make another napkin.